Good morning, good night, and good welcome to the Jamie Grace Show. I am so glad that you are here. It's 9 o'clock Eastern time, and you should probably be in bed or getting ready to get in bed because you probably have school tomorrow or work tomorrow or a dentist appointment or something else super fun and exciting. But regardless, you're hanging out with me for the next half hour, and I am so grateful for that. I will pop. Don't know what I was about to say, but I need to be saying that I'm grateful and I'm thankful for all you've done, which that's super lame. Let's just skip all that. Cue music. Typical evenings in typical homes begin with a bedtime story, and that is what I would like to share with you all tonight. The story that I'm going to share with you all is the day that I got chased by a cow. It was a late night somewhere in Texas. My family and I, we were out west, Midwest, middle of America, the mid-central, south, Texas. We were hanging out. We were at a family member's house, but I don't really remember exactly what family member because I was only like 7 or 8 years old. Morgan was like 9 years old. Our parents were like 30 something. And we were gathered around, and it was really dark. And I remember one of my dad's cousins. My dad's from Los Angeles, but he was raised in Los Angeles by people from Texas. So we have a ton of family in Texas. And they're really awesome Southern people. And I'm gonna over-exaggerate this accent just because it needs to be over-exaggerated. But one of my dad's relatives was like, I wanna go see my bull. And I might not sound too Southern right now, but being the Georgia girl that I am, I was like, oh my gosh, I can go see a bull. This is so cool. This is like true Southern living, right? So Morgan and I were like, yes, we want to go. Our dad was like, I want to go. And some of the other guys, in their 20s and 30s, they were like, we want to go too. So we all started walking out of the house, going to go see the bull. And right as Morgan and I got outside, one of our other cousins, she was like a lady in like her 20s. She was like, hey, can y'all watch my son? He wants to go see the bull too. Now, we're at that age, you might be at this age right now, so sorry if whatever, but I remember being that age where you thought you were too cool to hang out with toddlers. It's for a year in your life, you're just trying to prove that I'm a big deal, blah, 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 whatever. And I was at that age, and I was just I didn't want to babysit this kid, but I'm fine, I'll babysit him, we'll go with him. So because we went back to get our cousin's child, so our second cousin, or third, 12th cousin, we were a little bit behind our dad and all the other guys, but we could still see them in the distance. We were like, it's fine. It's pitch black dark in the middle of nowhere, Texas, and we're 7 and 9 years old. We'll be just fine. So we're walking and we're following behind our dad, trying to catch up. I don't even think they knew that us kids were coming. Kids, don't just run outside without telling your parents. I think that we probably are at fault for some of the story. So most of the story. So we're walking out to go see the bull, and we see all the guys. They open this huge gate and they walk in the gate or pen, whatever, and then they close it. And we're like, that's easy enough. We'll just do the same thing. So we get there a minute later, and so we open the huge pen cage thing, and then we walk in and we close it. What we didn't realize is that we were not walking into the bull's enclosure. We were walking into the cow's enclosure, and inside of the cow enclosure was the bull enclosure. So we didn't really realize that we couldn't just walk in and just kind of linger around until we saw a gate or something where the bull was actually stuff in that area. And by stuff, I mean cows, living, breathing, large cows that eat people. I don't know if that's true or not. So Morgan and I start walking, and we're just kind of walking slow, and you got this little kid, and he's walking slower. I gotta find this kid. I don't know whose kid that was. He's probably 20 now, and I can be like, you ruined my life. And so we're walking with the little kid, and then all of a sudden, Morgan was like, what's that? And I was like, I thought she was trying to be funny because I get scared of everything as a kid. Also now. So I thought she was doing that big sister thing where she pretends like it's something, and I'm like, she's like, did you look? Something in your mama's pocketbook. What was that little saying? So I was like, oh, Morgan's just trying to make me look, right? So I kind of ignored her, and she was like, Jamie, what is that? And I looked, because she sounded scared at that time. So I look, and all of a sudden, I just see this massive, just white something running toward us, and it's has black patches on it, and is the size of an animal, and it looks like an animal, and it smells like an animal. It has 4 legs. Oh, that's an animal. The cow was running toward us. It was running toward Morgan and I, obviously because we just walked into its house and just stood at the entryway. I mean, if you just walk into my house uninvited and just stand at the entryway, you can rest assured, well, I'm probably not gonna run toward you, I'm probably gonna run out of my house. Not really sure, but whatever. This cow was running toward us and he was like coming, and he was doing this. This is how the cow runs. He's like, and he's like running toward us, like coming to get us, like getting closer and closer. And Morgan's like, run! So I turn around and I grab the little kid and I open the pen and I get outside of the gate and then I close the pen. And I just remember like going into like shock and my brain just shut down and I'm just holding it. I'm on the other side. I'm finally safe. I just remember like the cow's still coming at like full speed and I was just so proud of myself because I got out, but I'm still like in shock because my sister was still inside. It's not funny. I'm a Christian. Morgan, sorry, Morgan was all up and over that cow, and he was coming. He was like coming so fast, and Morgan thinks I was being like a bratty little sister. Nobody wants their sister to get killed by cow. I mean, killed regardless, but nobody wants their sister to get killed by cow. So I was not being a butt. I was terrified. I was scared. I didn't know what to do. So I'm like, oh, Morgan's like, Jamie, open the gate. Jamie, open the gate. And I'm just like, and eventually I kind of snapped out of it and I was able to like swing it open and Morgan ran out and we grabbed the little boy and we like ran back to the house and we never saw the bull. And so we get in the house and we're just so scared. We don't want to tell anybody what we did because we didn't know if we would be in trouble for not like telling the adults where we were going. And so we just like sat inside like kind of freaking out. And then a few minutes later, our dad came back in and he was like, I thought y'all wanted to go and you know what happened? Why didn't you come or whatever? And we kind of gave them a little bit of the rundown, and my dad's cousin just kind of looked at us girls and my dad and he goes, oh, I forgot to tell y'all, that bull don't like children. So I guess when the bull saw the kids, he like freaked out and it scared the cow and that made the cow run. Or they were probably having animal language and the bull was like, go get them kids, and the cow was like, got him. But he didn't get us. I'm alive. Let's go. Let's go. Hey, thank you guys so much for hanging out tonight at the Jamie Grace Show. I have a fun night for you guys. I'm going to call some of you guys on the telephone that I have in my pocket. Oh, I couldn't find it. And then I also have a special guest, Jahan. Adam is here tonight. He gets on my nerves. Something else. Oh, we're going to throw back to High School Musical. Super pumped about it. So make sure you go get a snack or something. Pause this. I'm really bad at being still. Pause this, go get a snack, come right back because this is the Jamie Grace Show. So this last week was super amazing. We got to go out to Los Angeles, Morgan and I, and film some stuff at the YouTube space. That was so much fun. Then we got to go to a really awesome exclusive YouTubers only screening. If you know what movie it was, you can comment down below. But we had an amazing time and I'm so glad that we had those incredible experiences. But for right now, I want to introduce you guys to a brand new segment here on the Jamie Grace Show. And it's called How to Be This According to That. It's where I look at one of my favorite movies and I figure out, oh, this is not just entertainment. There's a beautiful lesson to be learned. So for this first installment of How to Be This According to That, I'm going to take you guys to High School Musical. A lot of great lessons on how to be a high schooler. And if you don't like High School Musical, don't turn this off because I saw some of you getting ready to be like, I don't want to watch this. I don't like High School Musical. No, trust me. There's some valuable life lessons to be learned from this film. And I know that you're gonna be truly inspired. So here we go. How to Be This According to That, High School Musical edition. So step one on how to be a high schooler according to High School Musical is to expect the unexpected. You never know when a freaky genius girl and basketball boy Troy are gonna end up on the same stage singing the start of something new. Who's gonna rock the house next? She's reading a book and he's probably just thinking about his next basketball practice while some team party DJ is all, someday you guys might thank me for this. Or not. Anything can happen when you take a chance. And on this New Year's Eve trip, 3 more important how to be's happen as well. Okay, well in this case, it's actually what doesn't happen, because number 2 in how to be a high schooler according to High School Musical is don't go kissing people while you're in high school. See, I don't know if Kenny Ortega read my book, Boys, 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 shameless plug, shameless plug, shameless plug, or if he just knows the business. See, they get all excited because it's New Year's Eve. 5, 4, 3, they're getting all close. Oh my goodness, he looks kind of nice. 2, 1, and then they don't do anything. They don't. Why? Because high school kissing it's kind of weird. So I'm just saying, Kenny O either read Boys, 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 or he's got some old-fashioned insight. Don't be kissing folk up in the high schools. However, if you do meet someone that you like, this brings us to number 3. You can swap numbers and you can swap selfies, just as Gabriella and Troy taught us to. Now, they didn't say anything about FaceTiming or texting. We didn't even have FaceTiming then. FaceTiming or texting 24/7, but Troy does promise that he will call Gabriella the next day, which he does. And then he gets her in trouble and she has to go to detention. But he gets in trouble too, but he has to go to detention too. But he's not really that mad about it because he doesn't want to just be a basketball boy. He wants to just be a boy. Sorry, getting way ahead of myself. Number 4, if you meet someone fantastic at a New Year's trip, but you don't really get to have the conversation that you want before they go walking away, all you have to do is look into the light made by fireworks and say their name in a gentle whisper. And in the next scene, they will show up at your school. Gabriella. And number 5 on how to be a high schooler according to High School Musical, I would say to be the new girl. Now I know it sounds crazy, that's so far outside of the status quo, but it worked out for Gabriella. The movie was just so much more peaceful and exciting for her than it was for, say, like Sharpay. I mean, homegirl was struggling. She went through some things, and I think she might still be, not Ashley Tisdale, but I think Sharpay might still be going through some things. So be the new girl, trust me. It's so awesome. I mean, you don't have to worry about trying to be like the freaky genius girl. Just be, as Miss Montez so eloquently put it, be Gabriella. Except replace your name with Gabriella. Because you're not Gabriella, unless you are Gabriella, then, okay. Number 6, turn off your cell phone. Miss Darby's gonna take it, boo. She's gonna take your phone and then you're gonna have to go to detention and work on Tinkletown or something. It's not worth it, trust me. I got to use this exclusive clip from Disney. They let me use this actually from the movie. I'm lying right now, but they let me use this clip from the movie to remind you guys why you should not have your cell phone in high school. That looks like Gabriella. The cell phone menace has returned to our Crucible of Learning. We have 0 tolerance for cell phones in this class, so I will get to know you in detention. Cell phone! And welcome to East High, Miss Montez. Mr. Bolton, I see your phone is involved, so we will see you in detention as well. That's not even a possibility, Miss Jarvis, Your Honor, you see, because we have basketball practice, and Troy. That will be 15 minutes for you too, Mr. Danforth. Count 'em. Number 7, if you are an athlete, make sure that you get your head in the game. Number 8, you might want to learn how to speak cheerleader, because if you want to get to know somebody, but you don't know where to go to find out the information that you need to know, you gotta ask somebody else and they might only know what I don't know how to explain it. Just watch this clip. So what do you know about Troy Bolton? I'm not an expert on that particular subspecies, but unless you speak cheerleader, as in, oh my gosh, isn't Troy Bolton just the hottie super bum? And last but not least, don't do other stuff that's not your stuff. It's best told by Corbin Bleu in this very memorable and powerful quote. Suddenly people think they can do other stuff that isn't their stuff. Lots of new stuff here at the Jamie Gray Show tonight, yeah? I'm pumped about it. I hope you are pumped as well. Even if you're not pumped, thanks for still watching this. Or you might not be watching anymore. You could have already turned it off. You're lost, guys. You're lost. Hey, another new segment that we're introducing is Ask Jamie Grace. I do it on Instagram. I do it on Twitter all the time where I answer random questions. But this is like for real stuff, right? This is like, these are questions about singlehood, about friendship, about dating, about food, about the important things in life. Am I right? Am I right? So make sure you go to ask.jamiegrace.com if you want to submit your questions about anything. You can add your name or you can make up a fake name if it's like a really serious topic that you don't want to put your name on. But the cool thing about these questions, or maybe it's actually not a cool thing, is that I have no idea what the questions are until I hear them like in that moment. So you actually get to see me hear the questions and see if I can come up with something relatively reasonable. So this is what happened when my sister was asking some of the questions, and she wanted to know what I thought about contentment and singlehood. Ugh, take a look.
How can you be content as a single person?
I'm just kidding. I think it might seem cheesy, but you maybe should, and maybe it's something you do on your computer or a notebook at home or something. Make a list of all the awesome stuff that's going on in your life. All the awesome stuff that you get to do. Like, yes, all the awesome stuff you get to do as a single person, but just in general, make a list of all the awesome things that you have the privilege to do in your life, and read that list over and over again until you recognize that your life is awesome. That you do have great friends, that you do get to go to the movies, that, you know, when you cook food, you do have leftovers for the next day because your husband's not eating it all up that night. And when you choose what goes in the DVR, it's what you want on the DVR. And when you want to go on a road trip with your friends, you just get to hop in the car and go on a road trip with your friends. Like, write down a list, make a list of the things that you truly, truly love about where your life is right now, and learn to be content. Being content doesn't have an instruction manual, and it also is not very consistent. It can have its days, it can fluctuate, and you can feel good one day and bad the next. But just recognize what you do have right now and be grateful for that. I like to tell people that I am very wealthy. I'm very independently wealthy. I have a significant amount of wealth in my independence. There are so many things that I can do right now that if I were married, if I had kids, I wouldn't be able to do those things. Right now, I get to film at the YouTube space in Los Angeles. And at 24 years old, I wanted to be married with kids by now. But if I had like 3 little toddlers, I wouldn't be able to spend the whole day making YouTube videos for you guys. Like, I'd have to be like, okay, do they have a nanny, or are they in school? Like, have they eaten a sandwich in the last few weeks? Like, or like hours, sorry. Kids should eat every few hours, not every few weeks. Like, when you are not in a committed marriage, like, or any kind of, when you're not married and when you don't have kids, like when you're not focused on that stuff, you have way more time to think about yourself. And I don't mean that in an arrogant way. It's not to say that you get to be conceited or cocky, but you do get to really focus on you and your needs and becoming the best version of yourself that you possibly can be. So make a list of all the things that make you independently wealthy and celebrating those things. And before you know it, your husband will knock at your door. It'll happen when you least expect it. I hate when people say that. Hey guys, it's Adam. A couple updates since the last time I saw you guys. First of all, I'm at the YouTube space in Los Angeles. So crazy to be out here in LA. It's so cool. They're using these fancy lights there, and I'm more of a natural light kind of guy, but you can see it bouncing on my glass. It's killing me. Another thing, I got a new phone, totally updated, and also I'm trying this new cold brew coffee. Don't know what you're thinking. Definitely coffee. So it's been great. Lots of great life updates. But of course, I've always got questions that you guys send me, answers that I want to give, and I'm so down with that. So here we go. Question. It's from Anonymous. Don't blame you, because this one's awkward. It's, how can you be content as a single person? You know, I believe like that God like wants us to be like happy and like content and stuff. Like, I think it's fine. But like the Bible says like that you're not supposed to be alone, right? Like, it's not good for man to be alone. So I think like don't be single, right? Like, there's girls at your church, like girls at your school, girls at your job. Like, ask them on dates. Like, go on dates Friday nights, Saturday nights. Like, hang out with them, get to know these girls. Like, you don't have to be like married to one of them. You don't have to like date, like full on, like, you know, take her out every weekend, but like you can have fun and get to know different girls, right? You don't have to worry about like, yeah, like, you know what I'm talking about. Like, the thing, like, if you get lonely, just ask a girl to coffee, man. Like, you don't have to be her boyfriend to go to coffee with her and have a good time. So I say like, yeah, it's good to be content when you're single, like good to be happy and everything, man. But ultimately, like, it's not about like how alone can you get. It's like, how much coffee can you drink? Girls love free coffee. Take them out for coffee. You'll have a good time.
You know, speaking of contentment, sometimes we don't really feel that contentment like in our job or in school or in friendships or whatever that may be. And I know, at least for me, being a singer, sometimes it's all about, oh, well, now that you have this album out, when are you going to win this award? Or now that you have this award, when are you going to play this big tour? Now that you're on this tour, when are you going to write a better album or do a better this or a better that? And sometimes you can get kind of like in your head a little bit of like, am I doing enough? Am I good enough? Like, do I work hard enough? Do people respect me enough? And I have been so inspired by my friend James. He goes by Jay Han. He's a really cool hip hop artist because he really just has a really cool perspective on what it means to be content where God has you and to not always be seeking something else. He and his buddies have a hip hop trio called AMP, and I got to sit down a couple weeks ago with Jay Han, and I want you guys to listen to what he had to say.
Jay Han, what up?
Yo, what up? Do I need to make it look more presentable?
You look so official.
Oh, thank you. Well, I'm gonna stand up and do this. What up?
You look like such a cool... Ooh, what's your hat? What's your hat?
Oh, this is my hat that I got from Korea. You know, it's weird if a Korean American wears this hat, it's, you know, it's somewhat acceptable. But if like a Korean wears it, it's kind of weird. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I feel you. Hey, you know how we had to move this interview like once and then twice?
I know, I'm sorry.
Do you want to know why though we had to move it the first time?
I picked up my sister and her husband from the airport, and it was one of those things like, you know, Atlanta traffic, you don't ever want to sit in Atlanta traffic. Yeah. So it was either like we go out to eat or we go sit in Atlanta traffic. And I was like, Korean barbecue.
Oh, you guys go?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Awesome.
They were obsessed with it, and I was like using my chopsticks. And my brother-in-law is like, he's part Chinese, so he was impressed that I knew how to use chopsticks.
Dude, the proper way with the, okay.
I told him, I was like,
man, I'm Korean, whatever, it's not a big deal.
Very good, that's awesome.
Dude, you guys just got back from like playing shows, right?
Yeah. We, 2 days ago, we came back from New York and New Jersey.
I love your tour schedule because like you play shows in the US, but you do so much like international stuff too. Like it's always so cool to see that.
For us and what we do, it's like our audience is definitely all over the place. We're no longer just America. We see that the people listening to what we do and the people that want to partner with us are overseas as well.
yeah.
So for anybody that doesn't know what you guys do, I mean, I do, so I'm awesome. But for anybody that's like not cool enough to understand AMP and Jay Han.
AMP is a hip hop trio. We started in 2010 out of a desire to encourage the Korean and Asian church because we felt like there weren't many musicians speaking into that world because I wanted people to make more music that were like me. So we were passionate. We're like, hey, let's do this. We love hip hop, you know, and it seems like we are able to travel to these churches and campuses and share music. And it resonated deeply with specifically Koreans, you know, because we're Korean. But it moved past that to just the broader Asian community. And then Jay Han is just my solo music. I started in 2013, about 3 years afterwards, because I saw that there was also, personally, I thought there was a need for like music from the church to the world type of thing, like making known to the world what a Christian or someone with a positive outlook, you know, would view life, you know, and make music accordingly. And then specifically now, I want to make more like positive party jam, groovy songs, you know, that aren't so like ratchety and so negative, you know, like almost family friendly in some sorts. But I want to make it weighty too. I want to talk about real issues that people don't want to.
Right.
No, I love that you want to do that, but I also love that you are already doing that. I mean, you've got an album out. AMP has a project out. What are the latest projects that you guys have out, and where can people get them?
Okay. So AMP, we came out with a project. The latest one was 2013, but
I'm gonna hang up and call you right back. Okay.
Okay. Cool.
Camera went away, but you're back. Oh wait, now I can't hear you.
Okay, I'm gonna try one more time.
It's not working. It needs to work. Are you there? It's like muted. It's so weird. I cannot hear you. I don't even know if I have Google Hangout. Do you have Skype? So we're moving on from FaceTime and we're going to try Skype. Let's see.
Yo.
It worked. That was so weird.
Oh man, that's really weird.
So you were telling me about the new amp stuff that's about to come out.
We're doing a tour in Korea, and then we're going to release our album in January.
Yeah.
And then I'm slated to release my solo album in like April-ish.
Yeah.
Or May. So that's exciting. But right now, I mean, you can get it on like iTunes, Spotify, Apple Music.
Yeah. I love what you guys... I know I've said that like 7 times, but I think it's really cool because it's out of the box. I mean, you know, most people don't typically think, oh, bunch of Korean guys. I think they're probably a Christian hip hop group. And like, I can say that because I'm a black girl with a guitar, so I'm allowed to say it. But it's like, you know, it's not expected, but you guys are, first of all, is who you are. You're not putting up a fake to try to, you know, get publicity. Like, you're genuinely really good at hip hop and, you know, and spitting 16, you know, you're actually good at it, but then you also like saw a need in the church and saw a need in your community, and you're choosing to serve your community. And I think that's just so, it's so cool, and it's so awesome to see you guys like doing that, and then to see it take off so well, and to see you guys so busy and always able to share your gifts.
You know, it's interesting because in 2013, so we met up with this one guy. He's just well versed in the Christian hip hop CCA or CCM world. He just kind of knows a lot of people. And you know, prior to that meeting with him, I was feeling kind of anxious because at that point we've been doing music for about 3 years, and I'm like, we're in front of only Koreans and Asians, and I want to get in front of the white audience, the black audience. You know, it's not like I don't know how to speak to them. Like, I'm American too.
Yeah.
So I was feeling some sort of slight bitterness because I was like, man, we're not making money going into like Korean shows, blah blah blah. So we thought this dude would give us the keys to, you know, having a financial, stable future, whatever, you know, because we're just, you know, operating out of fear, really. So we hang out with him, and we're just like, yo, so tell us, how do we like move forward and just soar? And he was just kind of asking us a whole bunch of questions. He's like, you know, when you're at these shows, like, who else is usually there? And we're like, nobody. We're usually the only person like at the church or the university that's performing. You know, we have like 1.5 hour sets. It's really long. And he's like, oh, are people like Lecrae there? And I'm like, no. I mean, they probably can't afford him, but they also might not want him to come necessarily because for whatever reason, they might be not feeling his music, you know, and because we're Korean, like, they're just going to be more open to us. So, you know, I was like, oh, okay, so that's cool, but tell us, give us the keys. And he kind of had this one answer in one fell swoop. He was like, just keep doing what you're doing. And we're like, what? Why? Because he was just saying, you know, in music and any creative industry, paving your own lane is really how you're going to have some sort of longevity and make an impact, you know? So for us, it was like, we know exactly what our audience likes, what they do, what their struggles are, because we embody that ourselves. So, you know, he was just like, keep going, because a lot of people don't have that luxury to know who they're speaking to and who they represent.
Yeah.
And a lot of other artists may not be able to speak as powerfully and deeply as you do to them. Mm-hmm. So that was actually a really big defining moment.
Yeah.
It's cool because from 2013, that's probably when our focus shifted and a lot of stuff started snowballing, you know, especially overseas. And I guess because as we kind of let go of control, wanting to have our career look a certain way, that's when, you know, God was really opening a lot more doors. Whether it was coincidental, I mean, there's some level of God's sovereignty in that, but it just happened that way, and I consider that a big landmark for us and how our perspective changed. Because, you know, you can't always necessarily choose your audience in one sense either. like I was neglecting the people and the ears that God had for me, for us all this time. You know, I was just looking at something else and thinking it was better, you know, when it may not have been for me yet or never.
Yeah. I can totally, you know, I can totally understand that and relate to that. You know, I never planned for like to be able to like to play a Jamie Grace concert. I never planned to play a Jamie Grace show and the first 10 rows are girls under the age of 13. Like that was never in my plan. Like I was 19 years old releasing, you know, my first full-length studio album and, you know, writing songs that I thought were primarily relatable to girls my age, which, yeah, girls my age listen to my music, and I know that adults listen to my music and dudes listen to my music, but still the primary audience is girls under 20, you know, because they're kind of growing up now. And so, but it's like, at some point I had to think, like, I don't want to always be looking ahead thinking what I could have or what I could be doing. Like, these people are here listening and waiting to see what I have to say, and I want to honor that and respect that and love on them and do what I can to serve them. Dude, well, you're super awesome. I'm gonna jet and I'm gonna let you go because I know that you probably have some hot beats to tend to.
Oh, maybe, perhaps.
Weirdest thing I've ever said.
It's all good. It's all good.
All right, dude. Well, you're super awesome, and I think I should give away an award to whoever can count how many times I said awesome in this entire interview. But
thanks, Jamie. Thank you so much for being so kind to us and supporting us all the time.
Oh man, you guys are awesome. I said awesome again. You guys are spectacular, and I'm very fond of your songs.
Thanks, Jamie. Appreciate it.
Yeah, Jay. I'll talk to you later.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, so I'm kind of a nerd, but I am definitely going to use my computer to call you guys back, and I'm pretty pumped about it. Let's see. Voicemails.
Hi, Jamie Grace. This is Justina.
Press dial. Press phone. And it's ringing all day long.
Mailbox of.
Well, this is embarrassing.
Hey, Jamie. This is Allie. I was just calling to say hi.
Hello, is this Allie?
Yeah.
Hi, you're on the Jamie Gray Show. What's up?
What's up? Hi, Jamie. It's April here at the Middle Block household. Just. Oh.
Hello, is this April?
Hi, Jamie.
Hi, how are you?
I am so fabulous now that you called.
Oh, thank you. I just wanted to say hello and let you know that you are live on the Jamie. Well, you're not live on the Jamie Gray Show. It's pre-recorded, but you on the show, though. You on the show.
The Jamie Grace Show brings a homeschooling mother such joy.
That's so sweet. Thank you. Hey, thank you guys so much for watching the Jamie Gray Show. I had a whole lot of fun making it, and I really hope that you enjoyed watching it. And if you didn't, you can't get this half hour back, so sorry not sorry. Hey, thank you guys again. You're absolutely wonderful. I look forward to seeing you on the Twitters, the Instagrams, the live shows, the Snapchats, the Facebooks, the MySpaces, and the Periscopes, all of the above and so much more. I love you so much. I will see you soon. I miss you already. Bye.